Hi, I'm Mark Donovan from HomeAdditionPlus.com, and today I'm going to show you how to repair a drywall taped seam. Drywall tape can peel away from walls for a number of reasons. It can be that the foundation is settled a little bit. It can be from expansion of the walls due to temperature changes. And it can also happen just due to the fact that the drywall tape was improperly installed to begin with. So the first thing I'm going to do is use a utility knife to cut away the peeling drywall tape. So now that I removed the old tape, I'm just taking some sandpaper and roughly sanding up the edges a little bit. Make sure there's no high spots. To help with the installation of the new drywall tape, I'm using a tool called TapeBuddy. It's from Buddy Tools, and basically it helps to apply an even amount of all-purpose joint compound to the back of the tape that we're then going to place on the drywall seam. All we need to do is put our paper tape in one side and our joint compound, all-purpose joint compound, in the other side. And since this is a small project, we're just going to use a little bit. So now that I have this TapeBuddy machine loaded, all I need to do is pull the drywall tape out. And as you can see here, we get a nice even application of joint compound onto the paper tape. I'm going to draw out the length that we need to repair the seam. So now I'm applying my paper tape to the seam with the joint compound on the back of it. And I use my 6-inch taping knife to embed it into the wall. We want to make sure we press it in, but we don't want to press too much that we remove joint compound from behind the tape. And then once we have it firmly in place, we're going to go back and put a skim coat of joint compound over the top of the paper. And we're going to let this dry before coming back to put on finishing coats. Okay, so now that we've put the new drywall tape into the seam, we're going to let this dry and then come back and put 2 more finishing coats on, sanding in between each coat. And then finally we'll put a light primer on and then paint, and this thing will be as good as new. Okay, so now we're just doing the finishing touches on our second coat of joint compound over the seam. What I initially did after the first coat of drywall joint compound dried, I lightly sanded the edges in the high spots and then applied a thin skim coat over the seam again with the joint compound. We're going to let this dry, lightly sand the edges again, and put a final coat on to finish up this project. So now I'm applying a Kills Clean Start primer over the retaped and mudded joint. So now I'm just blending in the primer with a roller into the existing walls. Now I'm putting on my final coat of paint. And this project's done. If you have other home improvement questions, visit us at HomeAdditionPlus.com today.